This is DRL, the Drone Racing League. Tonight, our 12 pilots continue to show they are made to win. Yeah! As they attempt to shake up the season standings.
Let's do it.
The track may be virtual, but the physics, the controller movements, and the racing are real. This is drone racing. This is DRL. Welcome to the DRL Algorand World Championship, the premier international drone racing circuit. This is Level 4 Kingdom, the second virtual sim event of our hybrid season, and the racing is moments away. Hello everybody, alongside two-time DRL World Champion Evan Heads Up Turner, as well as drone racing pilot Tony Niddle, I'm Craig Ummer. Evan, we've all watched, right? MCK has been coming so close, in fact, trending in the right direction with his level results. Now, that may mean he's on track for the win tonight, or is it possible the frustration of not winning is going to start to take its toll?
MCK has not faced this level of adversity in his drone racing career ever. He's definitely trending in the right direction, but I worry that after not having the speed he needed in the Golden Heat yesterday, that it might be in his head a little bit. We're going to see today how he progresses. This track definitely favors his flying style, and I know once he gets that win, the mental block will be away, and I think we're going to see a very dominant end of the season from MCK.
Meanwhile, TK, overall season leader Halo Walker, wow, it seemed like he got beat up by a level 3, and that frustration showed on multiple levels.
Yeah, that was the first time Halo had missed the podium so far this season, and he was visibly frustrated in his performance overall. And because he's the points leader so far, the other pilots are essentially ganging up on him to knock him down a peg or two. So he has the opportunity here to perform and shut them up, or crack under the pressure and fall down the ranks.
Let's meet all 6 pilots who will fly in semifinal number 1 and their colors. We start with Halo Walker, who's over in Germany flying pink. Maverick from California flies red. Killian over in France will fly blue. Vanover in California as well, the 2019 DRL World Champion, flies silver. Amari in Iowa flies white. And Gab 707, the veteran in Canada, flies yellow. Semifinal 1 Heat 1. Who'll be the first prince of this province? Maverick in red, a slight lead there through the U.S. Air Force Pentagate. Now it's time for the City Gate. All the pilots reacted to this one in training. The T-Mobile Gate is next. Now they soar to the Google Cloud Gate.
Yes, I'm watching Maverick in that Google Cloud Gate. That is somewhere that I'm not sure if his line is the fast one. He's taking it very tight, losing some speed, but if he's able to keep it tight, it's obviously working for him right now.
The Algorand Split S, also one of those elements that we should expect to change some things. They're up to the points cash Skygate. Now they will start lap number 2 once again through the U.S. Air Force Pentagate. Maverick in red has held that lead. It's been between Amari in white and Killian blue who are challenging him.
Maverick and Amari both did not make finals in level 3. They are strong in the sim and they plan to show it here. They're both going to be fighting to get the win here in the first semifinal heat to guarantee them a spot in finals to show everyone what they've got here.
Maverick in red, Killian in blue, Amari in white. We've got a couple drones with damage. That's both Vanover and Halo Walker, so they probably will not factor in the rest of the way. Give credit to Maverick, the run to the finish, and he will take heat number 1.
Good run, Mav.
Ooh. Good job, bud.
Let's
go! Man.
Right.
Yes!
Gee.
Yes!
That was clean.
Well done, well done.
Yes!
G man.
Woo! Oh!
Can you let me go in now?
Yes!
Can you let me walk?
Time now to join the 4th member of our team. Winner Maverick
Right.
is with Layla Anna Lee.
Woo!
Maverick, great to see that excitement and that energy after not getting exactly where you wanted to in level 3. Is this level going to be yours?
I think so. I have a lot of momentum obviously going my way now. Mentally, it was super hard to reset from yesterday. Having so much pace yesterday and not being able to make finals, but today we're on a clean slate. We're into finals, and I'm just going to go out there and have fun today.
You mentioned having fun, but tell me your thoughts on the course.
The course is a 10 out of 10. It's so much fun. There's a lot of technical stuff, but there's also a lot of wide open stuff, so it's a wide range of skill that's involved, but honestly, the course is just amazing.
Maverick, thank you very much.
Thank you.
A quick look at the Semifinal One results. It was Maverick's time of 112.300. That was the best. Killian about a 10th behind.
Maverick and the wickets, the differentiator here on lap number 1. Take a look at Maverick's drone in the red. As he pulls around the turn of the wickets, he pulls a completely different line than the rest of the pack, and that gives him a little extra advantage to get that pass back on Killian. Let's go in a little bit closer and see exactly where he starts that turning maneuver to exit the wickets, because that's going to be key here. Keep your eye on the red drone. He's already flipped the drone around well before the rest of the pack, and that's what brings him out in front of the rest.
He was 13/100ths of a second in arrears, but Evan, this was Killian's view.
Yes, we're under the eyes of the French pilot Killian. What is so unique about Killian is his flying is different than everyone else. I think his style is one that he's developed over the years, and it's so incredible to watch. He's very good at flying in a safe way, yet it's still being very fast. One thing that Killian is known for is being incredibly consistent, and in the past, he hasn't had the speed to show for it, but being just 0.13 seconds behind Maverick, it looks like this could be his track, it could be his night to move his way into finals. Going around the city gate here, he was in a tight battle with Maverick in that red drone. These next two gates are incredibly important. This Google
Well, yeah, Evan, I'm sorry you're having a little bit of audio issue, but yeah, coming out of the wickets, TK already mentioned that different line that seemed to really benefit Maverick, as you see Maverick's drone come back out in front, and Killian just has to watch him win. So taking a look at those results and standings, Maverick with his win has booked his ticket for the finals. The other 5 pilots still clearly with some work to do. All 12 pilots race each level. They're seeded into 2 semifinal groups, with the top 3 from each advancing to the finals. There, the winner of the Golden Heat will be your level champion. The pilots earn season points based on their overall level finish. The pilot with the most points at the end of the season is the DRL Algorand World Champion. Each heat is 2 laps around this Kingdom track. TK, take us through it.
Pilots take off toward the U.S. Air Force gate, making a right turn to loop through the city gate. They make a left turn through the T-Mobile gate to then launch to the Cloud, making a hairpin turn, diving down to the Dragonfly gate. Pilots swarm around and through the Algorand Split S gate before flying through the wickets and up to the Points Cache Sky gate. They then dive through the U.S. Air Force gate for lap 2, or head straight toward the finish.
Mav's excitement was evident. Who will step up and match that intensity?
The Algorand ecosystem is where monumental change takes shape. So come transform the world with us on Algorand.
The flight deck has a really unique atmosphere. It's buzzy, it's noisy, but at the same time, there's an intensity that's quite quiet.
The atmosphere in the flight deck is incredibly tense. The guys come out and they're trying to get out of their own heads and shake off those nerves.
There's a lot of competition there.
Come on!
The pilots really, really want to win, so there's a lot of yelling.
Let's go, baby!
There's a lot of debating each other about who is faster.
There's so much more going on in the flight deck than you can see at home, because you're seeing the angle of the pilots, but then on the other side, there's an entire production happening. There's generally between 8 or 10 different staff buzzing around, checking the controls, checking the graphics, checking the lights. So it's not a quiet, calm place. The pilots really have to hone in on their focus. Some of them are very, very calm, relaxed. Some of them are very stressed and intense, and they take that moment to really breathe and calm down. What I love about Vannevar is his self-talk.
Focus on yourself. Focus on it.
He inspires himself and talks out loud to himself,
First time flying the course in a while.
reminding himself of who he is, why he's there, and how brilliant he is ahead of the race. Alex FPV doesn't like to sit down, so he stands up every single time, and he stands with excitement, intensity, and that's his way of flying.
There's so many people on the flight deck, but they all have a singular focus, getting to racing.
It's a special place to be.
It's going to be close. Yeah! The Drone Racing League, brought to you by Algorand, the world's most powerful and sustainable blockchain. By T-Mobile, stay connected with more 5G bars in more places. And by Points Cash, freedom to pay your way. Welcome back to Level 4 Kingdom. We're one heat into our first semifinal, and Maverick has already qualified for the finals. Here in the semifinals, they fly 3 regular heats, with each heat winner automatically advancing to the finals. Everyone else is subject to sudden death, where only the winner is guaranteed to advance. Evan Halo was the top qualifier in this group, but TK already talked about his frustrations in Level 3. Now, his early crash in Heat 1 probably isn't going to help that mindset.
Absolutely right. Halo Walker had a rough start to this heat. He had a rough start to really the sim season in general. However, he has the luxury of being first in the seasonal points so far. So he's allowed to make those mistakes as long as he makes his way into finals. He can't get too upset, but where he could really end up messing himself up for the seasonal standings is if he's not able to get himself into the finals here.
Semifinal 1, Heat 2. The present is what's most important. All 6 pilots know it. Immediately, Maverick out to the front. Halo, Walker, and Pink right there as well. They're through the city gate. That sets up the T-Mobile gate. They all climb to the Google Cloud gate with Halo and Pink and Maverick and Red switching the lead.
This is our first time we've seen Halo Walker on the course tonight. He crashed early on in Heat 1, and he needs to get in finals.
That Algorand split S is oh so interesting in the different lines. Amari and White, by the way, way back in arrears. Maverick and Red, Halo, Walker, and Pink. They're your top 2. Killian and Blue still trying to stay up in that mix. They're on to lap number 2 and headed for the city gate.
Amari right now is Maverick's biggest cheerleader. From a strategy perspective, Amari's already out, so he wants Maverick to win twice to guarantee a sudden death.
Maverick and Halo Walker continue to bounce back and forth in those top two positions. Halo Walker, the pink drone. Maverick, the red drone. Great split S by Halo Walker as he's able now out of the wickets. Let's see if that lineup to the points cascade is the best. They'll just scream for the finish. A slight lead for Halo, and he will win Heat 2.
You got a Halo?
Yeah!
Yes! Yeah!
Man.
I was so worried after that split S.
Flip the first split S.
Oh. Wow. This is so stressful. This is so stressful.
Halo Walker making his mark in Heat 2. Tell me about the split S, because you got that perfectly right this time round.
The split S did not feel perfect. I was going a little bit wide just to make safe I don't crash, go safe on there, because in qualifying I had a lot of runs ending right there. I'm just glad I made it through.
And how pivotal do you think that split S is going to be?
It's the most technical course element on this track, so it's basically where all the time lies. It's a make it or break it element for sure, and it's going to take out a lot of pilots tonight.
Well, thank you very much. Well done.
Pretty evident, Halo Walker pushing all his chips into that Algorand split S. It paid off in Heat number 2. He wins it 110.455, about 8/100ths ahead of Maverick.
The Algorand split S, the differentiator here today on the track. Not so much for Halo Walker. He seems to handle it beautifully. Halo Walker in the pink drone. We're looking at the points cascade, but we want to get over to that Algorand split S. Either way, you can see on the turn here, Halo Walker handles that beautifully as well. In the pink drone, just ahead of that curve on Maverick and the red drone, and that's what sets him up to the difference of the others. But let's take a closer look over at the Algorand split S, because that's really where Halo is shining here on the course. Halo on the drop through the diamond gate, and as he brings it around to the split S, watch as he sets up his turn. He's already preloaded the turn before gate 1, and he drops into gate 2 beautifully. That extra drop gives him just enough speed to carry the straight and get the pass here on Maverick into the turn.
TK mentioned Maverick. Well, Evan, this was his view.
What we saw here is a classic blade-to-blade battle between two of our top pilots here tonight. You saw the pink drone of Halo and Maverick's view the entire time. From someone who's maybe never flown a drone before, it can be very distracting to have another drone in your view. Maverick did a great job of not letting that distract him, and additionally, he's already in finals. So what Maverick is trying to do right now is get comfortable at finding a strong pace. He doesn't necessarily have to beat Halo Walker or any of these other pilots. He just needs to find his groove and be comfortable. From a confidence perspective, the worst thing Maverick could do is push all out and make mistakes, making him out himself going into the finals. So Maverick is playing his cards perfectly so far. He didn't get the heat win, but he was on Halo Walker's heels the entire time.
Those last maneuvers through the wickets, and again, you can just see it, how Maverick shadowing Halo Walker as they run to the finish, and now we have two pilots out of two heats who had advanced, and that's where the confirmation is. Maverick won the first heat, as we noted. Halo Walker, equal parts excitement and relief in winning heat number 2. The Algorand split S gate is one of the most technical elements on this course. TK, take us through the maneuver, presented by the U.S. Air Force.
The Algorand split S requires pilots to carefully balance speed and precision. Pilots approach the gate from the left by rolling right and pitching back slightly. They then briefly reduce throttle and turn sharply through the top gate. They continue their rotation with a precise mix of yaw, pitch, and roll to descend through the bottom, exiting with a sharp right turn and on to the next gate. Approaching the gate too sharply or with too much speed can force pilots to overcorrect, losing momentum and increasing distance. The ideal line begins with a wide turn, passing closely to the inside post of the top gate and exiting tightly around the outside post of the bottom gate.
Do you want to fly like the pros? Download the DRL Sim on PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, and Epic Games. Maverick and Halo have nothing to lose, but the other four have to step up if they want to avoid sudden death.
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, and my mask up. You don't know who I am. Whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American airman kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
So I'm really excited to be out here today. We have a bunch of really awesome airmen who are going to show us around. We're going to get some hands-on time with a lot of the stuff that they get to use through their airman training, and I'm super excited for it.
It'll be interesting to see their perspective change a little bit with all of the different things we have planned on for today.
All right, welcome guys. This is the U.S. Air Force Centrifuge. Every pilot that's going to go off and fly fighters, they're going to come visit us. The device is capable up to 20 Gs. It would never spin to that with people inside of it. However, on the research side, we could spin 20 Gs with some equipment.
Running.
Oh my gosh.
Keep that trigger engaged, coming down, stay tight, and...
Oh my gosh. No way.
Oh my goodness.
A Strong Lab is the Air Force's exercise science laboratory. Pulling G's requires holding onto a lot of isometric strength, right, in your core. Today, we'll be measuring your power, body composition, how fast you recover, how well you move.
Go, 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 go.
Jelly.
Today, we're going to do a couple different neuromodulation techniques that are going to help improve your flying performance.
Seeing the process and the preparedness that the airmen went through to go out and fly missions and figuring out like how can we integrate that into things that we're trying to do as professional drone racers, it's really exciting.
Collectively, we are going forward and being able to be the best pilots that we can be.
This is DRL, the Drone Racing League. Welcome back to Level 4 Kingdom. 2 heats into Semifinal 1, and already Maverick and Halo have qualified for the finals. It is early in the 2022-23 DRL Algorand World Championship season, and here is where things stand after 3 levels of racing. Halo Walker, that #1 spot with 51 points, 11 points behind him in second. Alex FPV. MCK FPV sits in third, only 2 points behind Alex. And then it's Vanover and Pavelos who round out the top 5. Evan, the name I think as I look at those season standings that surprises me the most is Amari sitting all the way in 11th, because in previous seasons, Amari has been one of the dominant sim pilots, but we didn't see it on level 3, and we're not seeing it here. Why the dramatic change?
drone racing is such a mental sport, and you have to believe that you can do it. When you get in one of these mental ruts, it's so hard to dig yourself out, and that's why it's so important to start strong. Amari's had several unlucky issues and crashes throughout the beginning of this season, and I think he is in that exact scenario. He needs to figure out how to get out of this mental rut and believe that he can do this.
Semifinal One Heat 3. Stand out and make it count as they go through the U.S. Air Force Pennagate. No surprise, Maverick in red right there in front, followed by Halo Walker in purple. They switched the lead up. Killian in blue was there briefly as they all go for the Google Cloud Gate.
Yes, Maverick out front, and although he was trying to take it smooth, maybe he wants to finish with 2 wins out of this semifinal to give him a better spot on the podium in the finals.
Over to the wickets. They'll fly up and over and then head to that Point Cache Sky Gate. That'll set up lap number 2. Killian in blue now in front. Halo Walker was there but has sustained some drone damage, so he may drop back. Already at the City Gate with Killian in blue and Maverick in red 1-2.
With Killian in the lead, if he wins this, that means we will have no sudden death. Amari, if he's going to make a move, has to do it soon.
Killian in blue, Amari in white, Maverick in red, Vanover in silver. Everybody there, but Killian with a great Algorand split S. Now up and through the wickets on the left side actually that time, as it'll be the Point Cache Skygate. The final turn, here comes Killian. He wins Heat 3.
Yeah. Woo.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh man, that's my first time win it.
Woo. Man.
This is brutal.
Killian, now we meet the man who's known as France's golden boy. Tell me what went right for you.
I'm so excited right now. That's my first 8 win on DRL, so it's just perfect. That's a good day. I did a very good time, and I was following Maverick and Ironworker was pretty fast, but I'm in.
You're in. It was brilliant. Now tell me today, before the races, how were you feeling?
I feel I need to push, but I will try to be consistent. This is exactly what I did right now. I finished my three attempts very close to Maverick and Halo, so I was just trying to get fast and just see the situation.
You gave us a thrilling race. Thank you very much.
Thanks to you.
Killian said he was trying to get fast. Well, he was the fastest in heat number 3. His winning time, 1:11.755, almost 0.3 of a second ahead of Maverick.
Aspiring pilots, pay attention. You want to know how he became the fastest one here? Take a look at Killian in the blue drone as he makes the turn up at the Google Cloud Gate and sets up for the drop down to the diamond. Now he realizes he's got a turn coming up, which is the Algorand split S. You got to stay tight. Swing wide on the approach and tight on the inside to the left exit. Killian does exactly what we needed. Let's take a close look at how Killian executed that. So here's Killian as he's up at the Cloud Gate. Watch him as he pulls into position. He doesn't have the advantage on the drop. You can see he's got 2 other drones in front of him, so he has to slice the diamond perfectly to set up for the wide entrance on the split S. Killian pulls in early and swings through the exit low with the most amount of speed. That is how it's done.
Evan, you know, Vanover isn't known as a sim-centric pilot, but he certainly is trying.
Absolutely. Vanover really has impressed me, especially on this heat here. As you can see, he was almost in the lead, but if not so, very close to the rest of the pack. Coming down through this Dragonfly Diamond Gate, here's the most important part of the track, the Algorand Split S. He pulls it very tight, and although it wasn't the fastest, it was a consistent, safe line. What I think Vanover is trying to do here is keep pressure on the front pilots. He doesn't think that he's going to be able to consistently outrun them, but what he can do is put himself in the best scenario possible to make up for their mistakes. Unfortunately, none of them made those mistakes, putting Killian into the win. However, he was able to pull in a third, which will help him in the overall standings from this race. He did get a beautiful view of the battle between Killian and Maverick in the red drone, and actually had a little bump there on the Al Grand split S, which makes it all the more impressive that he was able to bring home third there.
Well, the two drones in front of him, that's what it looked like as they entered the finish. Vanover third in that one. Well, our podium has already been decided here in semifinal number 1. As we mentioned, no need for sudden death. It's Maverick, Killian, and Halo Walker moving on. No question, semifinal 1 was exciting, and we should expect nothing less in semifinal 2, which is next.
Hitting the road, not all 5G networks are created equal. T-Mobile covers more highway miles with 5G than Verizon. T-Mobile has more 5G bars in more places than anyone. Another reason T-Mobile is the leader in 5G.
Welcome to the premier international drone racing circuit. This is DRL, the Drone Racing League.
We've teamed up with Drone Racing League to fuel 5G innovation in 2 fast-growing markets, drones and tech-powered sports.
T-Mobile is building the largest, fastest, most reliable 5G network in the country. And DRL is building a new sport that depends on using innovative technology to create an audience experience like no one has ever seen before.
In the past, the analog video that's come through is not very clear and not very clean. With T-Mobile 5G wireless technology, we get a crystal clear image. Now that the field test has proven to be a success, it's time to build a fleet of these drones and take them to DRL races and T-Mobile events and really show the world what this drone can do.
This is just the beginning, and I can't wait to see this 5G drone take flight.
Racing League, brought to you by Google Cloud. By Dragonfly, North America made and manufactured drone and AI solutions. And by the U.S. Air Force. Aim high. Welcome back to Level 4 Kingdom. 3 pilots have already qualified for the finals, and now 3 more spots are up for grabs as we get set for semifinal number 2. Evan, let's talk MCK FPV. We brought him up at the top of the show. We, of course, have the luxury of watching all these pilots during qualifying, and during that time, you said you think this course suits him.
Yes, when I saw this track for the first time, I said this has MCK's name all over it. He's feeling good coming off of level 3, and I think, in all honesty, there is no reason he should not win every single heat on this track. Now, can his mental game keep up with that?
Well, in terms of Alex FPV, right, he won the last level. So, of course, he's going to try to hold on to momentum as best he can, or, of course, sometimes, I think, as drone pilots, as you know all too well, it's best to clear your mind. Alex FPV, one of your great friends, though, always seems to fly on emotion, so it's always fun to watch him work. Let's take a look at our lineup here in semifinal number 2, starting with MCK FPV over in South Korea. He'll fly purple. Alex FPV, a little bit closer to everybody here in Tennessee, flies red and blue. Pavelos from Poland flies orange and white. Hyper in Florida flies green. Singu over in Spain flies orange. And Siba FPV from the Dominican Republic flies green and white. Semifinal 2 Heat 1. A new 6 are set to pilot through the Principality. They all go through the U.S. Air Force Pentagate. Alex FPV initially in front, followed by Hyper in green. MCK now in purple, trying to get to the lead. But as they go to the Google Cloud Gate, it's Alex and MCK fighting for the front.
Now we need to watch MCK and the purple drone here. We're coming up on his strongest element, the Algorand Split S. I'm excited to see if he pulls away or loses ground here.
Well, he certainly moved up, but Alex maintained his lead. That's the red and blue drone as they all go up for the Point Cache Skygate. This will set up lap number 2. It's Alex FPV, MCK FPV 1-2 as they go through the U.S. Air Force Pentagate and head to the City Gate.
This is lap 2. Alex FPV is in front. He doesn't know how close MCK is behind, but actually looks like he has some prop damage pushing MCK to the lead here.
Yeah, MCK taking advantage of that. And Hyper, by the way, in green all of a sudden very close to the lead. So look at MCK in purple, Hyper in green. Hyper had the better Algorand Split S, but MCK takes it back. Now Hyper's in front, one final left turn. It's Hyper slightly, MCK, they're both battling. This is going to be too close to call. Who gets it? MCK!
Oh, dude, you were flying so good. You were flying so good, Mace. You were flying so good, Hyper.
Oh my god.
Wow. He's so...
A cat and mouse chase at the end between you and Hyper. That was thrilling to watch. You had the commentary team screaming. How was it for you?
Oh, I think I didn't know that Hyper was that close in this hit. So I think that means I need to push harder for the next hit.
The margins in these races are so tight. All of you are so close, and we're talking about milliseconds here. How do you make sure you improve every single time, even if it's by just a small amount?
I think especially in this track, I think I'm trying to go tighter as possible in this split S section. I think that part is most hardest track in here.
And tell me about your practice of the split S, because it looks like you've got that nailed.
Actually, like, I didn't practice that much about split S, so I'm quite nervous, but, like, I will try my best.
You make it look wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Another pilot confirms, and this time it is MCK, that the split S can decide it all. Layla wasn't kidding. Milliseconds, in this case 15 100ths, decides MCK's win.
Around the city gate, that's where the damage was started. Take a look here at Alex FPV in the red and blue drone as he makes the approach out of the city gate and he tries to get through the T-Mobile Square gate. Now, as he closes in on the gate, MCK's in a better position. Alex pulls in on the tight left side, tries to pull up to the other side of the gate, and that was just enough for him to make contact and slow him down. And from there forward, MCK able to hold on to the lead the rest of the way.
And Evan, what a duel we just witnessed. This was Hyper's perspective.
Hyper in the green drone actually started out pretty far back after lap 1. You'll see right here, he was in 3rd and 4th place, and we, the commentators, weren't even really talking about Hyper. However, he seemed to figure something out going forward.
That's way too far back.
MCK stayed out in the lead, but Alex FPV made a bobble, and maybe MCK thought that he slowed up. MCK said in his interview that he didn't know Hyper was so close. So what I predict happened is that MCK saw that Alex FPV went down and thought that he had it made. And Hyper, once again, taking advantage of that mistake, and MCK flying more lax here. You'll see, there goes Alex FPV down, meaning there's only one purple drone left in the air in front of Hyper, and we're going to see that purple drone get bigger and bigger. You saw it just there, coming down to the Dragonfly Diamond. It gets even bigger, and through the split S, that is where Hyper absolutely went for it. He didn't have all that it took to close the gap completely, but it has to be confidence building that he was able to shrink that gap.
Yeah, and it's interesting. It seems like every level there's 1 or 2 instances where the pilots need a proverbial kick in the pants, and that may have been it for MCK. He had to fight for it, but he gets the win in heat number 1, and he's headed to finals. No question that Semifinal 2 started off with a bang, but we've got plenty more to come.
For more than 2 decades, Dragonfly has been engineering innovative UAV and AI solutions across industries in the public and private sectors. This year, we have released a new heavy-lift UAV capable of carrying more than 30 kilograms and the versatile Commander 3XL UAV that can accommodate a whole host of payloads, including our new LiDAR system. From landmine detection and EMS delivery drones deployed in Ukraine to our biometric insight AI, our reputation has been built on our commitment to engineer technology that saves time, money, and lives.
Drone racing has a lot of potential to motivate kids to learn about science, about electronics, about physics, about robotics, about so many things.
At the Drone Racing League, STEM is at our core. Our DRL Academy STEM program teaches students how to build, fly, and code racing drones. We inspire the next generation of innovators through the thrill, speed, and science of our sport. With custom drone kits, flying lessons, coding competitions, and panels with DRL pilots, the DRL Academy creates fun learning experiences that last a lifetime.
Hi, I'm MCK and this is my first season of DRL.
Don't let anybody be fooled. MCK is not a rookie to this sport.
MCK is probably one of the most accomplished racers outside of DRL.
Since beginning, I always wanted to be a champion of the DRL.
MCK is someone we're gonna really want to keep our eyes on. He is a rookie this year, but that doesn't mean he's really a rookie in drone racing.
Like first race, I think I tried to go too much fast. Oh, I think if I don't crash, I think I was gonna beat everyone. I think the only way to get faster is practice. I'm practicing like 3 times more than other people. Making excuse when you lose, that means you didn't practice enough. When I get stressed from school or studying, when I fly FPV with my goggles on, stress is all gone. That's why I really like FPV.
Going into this season, I feel like there's a lot of unfinished business from last season. At the end of the day, my goal is to be the world champion, and I'm not going to always be fully satisfied unless I'm on the top spot.
I'm playing simulator till like 1 a.m. and I'm going to field at like 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. I'm practicing 3 times more than other people.
I'm planning to pick up where I left off at last year's Vegas Championship race. Last year was just about survival. This year I'm here to win.
I'm very good at being there no matter what the pressure is, no matter how many upsets there are. You can always count on a good race for me. 7 years of 707, you know?
I'm pretty confident. I know I can do it. I'm training for this. I'm practicing for this, like every day.
I'm fully expecting that I'm going to be competing for the top this season, especially with hybrid and everything. It's a really unique skill set required to do well. I think I'm uniquely positioned to excel at everything that we're going to be doing this year.
Being honest, I just want to win. I don't care if I have to train every single day at 6 a.m. I will do anything just to win.
I feel confident in my abilities to beat a lot of the pilots. I've been putting in a lot of work and a lot of practice, so I just feel confident.
These guys literally got their names by racing me. This isn't the first time I've raced them. I'm not really scared to race anybody.
The opportunity to be here is like such a privilege. So many pilots would wish to be here. I really want to show that I'm worthy.
I'm 100% committed that I will win every race out there. So if you like to root for a winner, then you probably should root for me.
To be an elite drone racer is a mindset. It's I need to be there. It's not I want to be there. It's not I hope to be there. It's I need to be there. I do deserve to be in DRL. The amount of time I put in should speak for itself.
DRL fans, how are you feeling? It's time to get excited for a night of drone racing.
I think we're ready for some racing. What do you guys think?
DRL and Google Cloud are both organizations focused on making the future happen today through technology innovation, as well as learning and development. With DRL, that's through our simulator program, and for Google Cloud, it's through their developer and learning platforms.
We're really excited to talk about how we're going to work with Google Cloud so that our fans who love technology innovation are going to be able to get their hands on our actual race data.
Now the Google Cloud gate, there it is! Man over out in front, and he is all alone!
We're very excited about the Google Fly Cup Challenge. We're taking DRL's historical race data and giving it to Google developers. More information for the pilots means better racing and better performance.
The Google Cloud Fly Cup Challenge means that developers of all skill levels get to use that race data to come up with predictive outcomes by using Google Cloud Analytics tools, and you'll be able to give tips and tricks to the DRL pilots for their next season performance.
Yeah! The race in the cloud is just the beginning of an incredibly exciting next chapter for DRL. Large-scale live racing with incredible partners like Google at events around the world.
This is DRL, the Drone Racing League. Welcome back to Level 4 Kingdom. We're getting set for Heat number 2 here in Semifinal number 2, and MCK FPV has already qualified for the finals. Evan, we haven't talked a lot about Hyper until that last heat, so was that last run a fluke, or are we going to start to see him be a factor?
No, Hyper seems to be on it today. He's not taking the approach of, oh, I'll just hope somebody else makes a mistake. He is flying at the pace that he needs to potentially take a win. The advantage he has is that he's a bit of a dark horse this year, it seems, and he's taking advantage of that. And the advantage you get is that you don't have the pressure of needing to perform. You are flying for yourself, and you have nothing to lose every single heat.
Semifinal 2, Heat 2. Another occasion to capitalize as they all go for that U.S. Air Force Pennagate. Alex FPV in red and blue, the first to go through. MCK in purple, though, right behind him as he drops down to third. It's Hyper in green in second as they go to the Google Cloud Gate.
Hyper was not happy with that second place. He's going to push it even harder now to try and get the win and guarantee himself a spot in finals.
There's the Algorand Split S. Alex FPV first in, first out. MCK right there in purple behind him as they go up to the Point Cache Sky Gate. This will start lap number 2. Alex in blue and red continues to lead. MCK in purple in second.
This is right around the time Alex FPV made his mistake on the last heat. We're going to see if he can keep it together here, and that he does. Now it's coming down to just the last few turns, and his biggest issue is that he's coming up on the Algorand Split S, where MCK is notoriously strong.
Yeah, and it seems like MCK in purple has surged. He's back in front. Alex is trying to stay as close as he can. They go up to that Points Cache Skygate yet again, the final left-hand turn. But guess what? MCK goes back-to-back and wins Heat 2.
GG.
Good job, Min-Chan.
Good job, Min-Chan.
Min-Chan. 110-7.
Oh,
Alex, tell me about the pressure of chasing a pilot like MCK.
I mean, he's good. We're all seeing it. He's really good. That heat, I went out the first one to a wreck. The second heat, I told myself, just back off, finish a heat. Maybe we get lucky and maybe we don't, and we didn't. So we're going on to Heat 3, but as we see Min-Chan with another win, we're definitely going to go to sudden death. So we got 2 heats left, and hopefully I can squeeze in there.
How important is it to you to avoid sudden death?
I mean, it would be great. We all move it. We can go to finals, whether that's through Heat 3 or sudden death. So statistically, it doesn't really matter. But emotionally, it's always great to not go down to that 4th heat.
Now, we mentioned MCK, who was dominant in the last level, but there are lots of other pilots around you. How special is it to fly with the best in the world?
Oh, that's what we're always looking for, right? I'm not here to, have any easy wins, and by no means are there any easy ones out here. It's some of the best of the best. We're missing, maybe one out there, but besides that, this roster is absolutely insane. It's just a pleasure to race at any heat out here for sure.
And you're very much at home here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
MCK gets a second win of semifinal number 2, and it was a fast one. 110.736.
Alex FPV shining on the track, well, for a little while. Take a look at his approach up to the Points Cache gates. He's got a strong exit out of the wickets just down below, but just as he makes the turn, he slows himself down just enough for MCK to get the pass on him. Let's pull in a little tighter and focus in on how he lost the turn at the top of the Points Cache gate. You can see on the approach that him and MCK are right next to each other. Now watch the turn. Alex FPV with a much more obtuse approach to the turn, and that causes him to lose the speed. Whereas MCK had that wide sweep, carried as much momentum as he needed to gain the position.
Evan, TK was just highlighting Alex's run. This is what it looked like to him.
Yeah, Alex FPV had a very strong start and right next to MCK in a blade-to-blade battle. What we started to see was that MCK just had a little something extra on every single turn. Now, maybe that was Alex giving a little bit of extra room for comfort so that he didn't make a mistake, because if you remember, he did crash on the beginning of lap 2 from the Heat 1. So, from a mental perspective, from a confidence perspective, that's in the back of his mind, and that's dangerous for a drone pilot because you cannot hesitate going into any of these turns. As you can see here, what we actually saw was that MCK on lap 2 ended up pulling away from Alex, and just like we talked about before, in this Algorand Split S, that's where MCK is strong, and also where Pavelos ended up making up a lot of ground on Alex FPV as well. So what we need to watch here is Pavelos actually ended up stealing the second place away from Alex at this points cascade, and the orange and white drone of Pavelos ended up sneaking in front alongside MCK.
Well, Alex already said it in his interview with Layla. MCK's 2 wins means we will definitely have a sudden death. As a rookie, Alex FPV took second in the overall standings last season, and this year he picked up right where he left off, winning level 1. But this Tennessee native doesn't take his success for granted. Let's take a closer look at why he flies, presented by Dragonfly.
The reason I fly is that grind effort that my soul just loves. Putting in all this effort and getting something out of it. Going from not good to competitive, I can't get enough of it.
Alex FPV, he puts it all on the line, and he just loves a good battle.
That felt like drone racing. Good, I love that so much. I'm only here for hard work. As of right now, nobody really has the work ethic that I have in drone racing. I'm not scared to lose. When it comes down to racing, there's a lot of people out there that are scared to put their quad on the line.
Oh, I clipped it. I clipped it.
Well, to me, you can't win if you don't try. For me, in my head, what it takes to win the world championship is dedication, effort, and the will to never give up. You have to love something so much you hate it.
Alex FPV wins level 1.
That's where I think champions are made.
Visit ProjectDroneGalaxy.com to join the Discord. Help name DRL and Algorand's fly-to-own game. Can anyone crack the MCK code? They'll need to if they want to avoid sudden death.
The Algorand ecosystem is where monumental change takes shape. So come transform the world with us on Algorand.
training facility with Gotham FC, and for the very first time, we're going to have the FPV drone on the field with the players as they're training. We're hoping to get some really unique shots and something you've never seen before.
This is DRL, the Drone Racing League. Welcome back to the semifinals of Level 4 Kingdom here in semifinal number 2. So far, MCK has been putting on a show, and he is the only pilot who has qualified for the finals. Evan Alex told Layla he doesn't care if he wins the next heat or sudden death. You know, it's clear you know him very well. Is that really true?
Yeah, I have to say that I beg to defer there. Alex does not like sudden death. Actually, I don't know any pilot who likes being in sudden death. Sudden death is somewhere where there's no opportunity for mistakes, and even when you're the best pilot, you can make a slight bobble that ends up taking you out of the race. So Alex FPV may be putting on the show of he's okay with it, but absolutely not. He does not want to go there, and Heat 3 is his last opportunity to try and guarantee himself a spot in finals without sudden death.
Well, let me put you on the spot. Is MCK going to sweep this thing? Or are we going to go to sudden death with 2 spots available, which might relieve some of that pressure on Alex?
Well, on level 3, when it really came down to it, Alex FPV was able to outrun MCK. Now, this is a little bit of a different circumstance here in semifinals and not the Golden Heat, so MCK might not be feeling those same nerves, but if there's any heat that Alex needs to go for and wants to go for it, it's right here to avoid sudden death.
Let's talk about Pavelos. He had such a great level 3, right? He was on the podium for the first time this season, and he had a very good last heat, as you noted, right? And we've seen he was second overall, and it turned out at the very end he got in front of Alex. So do you see his positive trend continuing?
Absolutely. Pavelos is someone who is living his dream right here through DRL. He has wanted to be in this league for his entire drone racing career. Ever since he picked up a drone for the first time, Pavelos has wanted to be on DRL. Now that he's starting to see some success, I really think he's going to take it and run with it. So if you're looking for a passionate pilot to cheer for, Pavelos is just that.
We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we plan on bringing you Semifinal 2 Heat 3. Stick with us.
The Earth is 70% water and 30% land. But the entire sky belongs to us. Copy that. Aim high, Airman.
I qualified for the DRL season, winning the DRL tryouts this year.
And your newest pilot for DRL!
Winning was probably one of the best moments in my racing career. The joy of winning after all that practice finally paid off was amazing. The moment it sank in, I just couldn't hold the tears back.
Welcome to DRL, bud! You did it, my friend.
This is legit a dream come true for me. Like, oh my god, like this isn't even real.
Spending a year in the States during my exchange year got me interested into racing in the first place.
The first time I watched DRL on live television was during Nerf season. Watching him become the DRL world champion was amazing.
And Nerf makes it official.
I really looked up to him, so coming into DRL as a fan and racing some of these guys that I looked up to is just amazing. I'm definitely looking at the veterans this year. Having a battle with Gab 7-7, someone I looked up to, is just a lot of fun to race with these guys. What sets me apart from the other pilots is the different way I look at racing lines and the special lines I can find in some situations or on some tracks. The way I look at a track differently coming from the sim puts me at an advantage.
This is to move on to the finals. Your last left. Who's it going to be? And it goes to Halo Walker.
Let's go! Yeah!
This is DRL, the Drone Racing League. Welcome back to Level 4 Kingdom. Obviously, we're sorry for the technical difficulties, and we truly appreciate your patience. If you are just joining us, MCK, the only pilot so far in semifinal number 2 that has booked his ticket for the finals. Let's remind everybody of the pilots and the colors here in semifinal number 2. MCK FPV flies purple, Alex FPV red and blue, Pavelos orange and white, Hyper green, Singu orange, and Seba FPV green and white. Semifinal number 2, Heat 3. Who's next to find their 4? Obviously, MCK's got the target on his back, but once again, Alex FPV, the early lead. They're already through the City Gate, through the T-Mobile Gate. Now they go up to that Google Cloud Gate, which interestingly, right, Evan, has changed some things at times.
Absolutely right. This middle portion of the course is really the differentiator between all of these pilots. It's a place where you can make up a lot of time, but also where you can lose a lot of time.
Alex FPV red and blue, he's in the lead, but he's got MCK in purple right on his tail. On to lap number 2, once again through the U.S. Air Force Pentagate. It's Alex in red and blue, MCK in purple, and now Pavelos and Hyper fighting for 3rd.
I can feel Alex FPV's heart beating through the screen right now. He's got 3 really fast pilots on his tail, and coming into this middle portion of the track, he has to just go for it, believe in himself, to be calm and crisp, hopefully being able to hold off these other pilots who are pushing so hard.
Oh, so far so good. Hyper actually in green is now past MCK. There's the final turn. Can Alex do it? 3 pilots go for it. Whoa, look at that. MCK somehow wins another one.
Oh my God.
What?
That's so close.
Dude, Korea ping is crazy, but look at the times.
My God.
Oh my.
Good job, Minchan. Good job, everybody.
What a
GG.
Killer run. Holy.
We see confusion in the flight deck, everyone with their hands to their heads. Did you know that you'd won straight away?
I didn't know that.
And when you find out, what's that relief like with the confusion and the mix-up of all emotions?
Oh, like, I definitely knew it, that Alex and me was super close during this hit, and then, I definitely can feel my heart just beating super fast right now.
Now, I need to ask you ahead of another heat. Last level, we saw you very dominant throughout, but then choke right at the end. How do you make sure that you remain consistent with this brilliant flying?
I have no idea. Like, I think I was way too nervous, but I wish I'm not nervous at this time. So
good.
I think I should try my best.
It'll be exciting to watch. Thank you.
Thank you.
Layla just used the word confusion. I'd say it was disbelief from the other pilots as MCK sweeps semifinal number 2. His time in Heat 3, 111.662.
Don't you blink or you'll miss it. Watch this battle as it unfolds for us up top. The points cash gate and the drop down to the finish. You can see there's just such a tight battle. Alex FPV, Minchan, and the green drone. It's just amazing battle. Let's go into the closer look at the turn of the points cache. This is where Alex loses it. Minchan, MCK coming in with a lot more speed through the turn, and that's where the difference is made up. There's no way Alex can make up the turn from there forward. MCK with the lead all the way in to the finish.
Evan, that was a great highlight by TK, but I tell you what, I really think as we see Hyper's point of view that he thought he won this.
Yeah, Hyper was talking about how he didn't know who won, and that's because with all these pilots being in virtual places, you're relying off how fast their internet is. You know, you're flying and maybe somebody skips forward or skips behind, and you just have to fly your best and not worry about what the other pilots are doing. And I think maybe that got in the head of Hyper. What I have noticed about Hyper that has really been impressive is that his lap 2 flying is second to none. He was in 4th place by a huge margin coming out of lap 1, and he clawed himself all the way through the pack in lap 2 here. You'll see you have Pavelos in front of him, MCK and Alex FPV just way out ahead. But through this Algorand split S, through the wickets, he just got closer and closer. Again, not enough to take the win, but if he can figure out how to do this exact same flying on lap 1, he will be right next to them.
All purple all the time, it seems, in semifinal number 2. MCK, the only pilot headed to the finals so far. But keep in mind, there are now 2 spots available in this upcoming sudden death. So, Evan, let's talk about it, right? Because as we peruse, I'll say, the remaining pilots, Alex, Hyper, and Pavelos, 3 pilots that I feel will be fighting for those top 2 spots. They've all had a second so far. I'd love for you to pick them. Who are the 2 you think will move on?
Well, my picks for first place has to be Hyper right now. He has to be happy with his flying, and although he might not be winning these heats, I know for a fact he is performing better than he ever has here in the DRL Sim, so he's my number 1 pick. Number 2 is a tough one. You have Alex FPV coming off a win in level 3, and Pavelos, who was right there behind him. I know Pavelos really wants it, and Alex FPV is going to have a lot of pressure because he knows that his overall standings really rely on him making it to the finals. I'm going to go Pavelos, number 2.
Semifinal 2, sudden death. Embrace the pressure. 2 will move on. An early lead for Hyper in green, followed by Alex FPV in red and blue. There's the left turn through the T-Mobile gate up to the Google Cloud gate. Hyper in green still maintains his lead over Seba now in green and white, and Alex FPV.
Alex FPV is right there, and he's also right next to Hyper on lap 1. We talked about how good Hyper's lap 2 is, so we're going to see if Hyper can bring this home and get himself his second finals here in the sim portion of the season.
Hyper in green leads them on to lap number 2. It's Pavelos, orange and white, sitting in second right now. So Alex FPV definitely has some work to do. They'll head for that T-Mobile gate yet again. Hyper in green continues to leave as they head for the air in the Google Cloud gate.
I cannot say this enough. Alex FPV needs to get in second. His overall standings for the entire season rely on him making it to the finals as many times as possible. And
partner,
down.
He just took himself out. Pavelos now in the lead. Hyper in green in second. Top 2 will move on. Pavelos gets the win, and Hyper gets the requisite second. They'll both be in the finals.
Let's go. We're in it, son.
Wow.
Holy.
Let's go.
Finals, here we come. Oh, a little
Let's
late.
go, Hyper. That's how we do it.
Holy.
That's how we do it, baby.
2 rookies make it through to the finals, but first I want to understand your emotions as you walked into sudden death, because there's nothing more tense than a sudden death round. Hyper, you tell me first.
Yeah, you know, I was feeling really good going through the first 3, but just couldn't make those last couple tenths on Minchan. So I was pretty confident going into sudden death, but you never know until that final turn heading towards the straight at the end.
Pavelos, Hyper went in sudden death with confidence, but how about you?
Well, I definitely don't have as much pace on this track as I did on the level 3 track. So not as confident as I would like to be. But you know, I really wanted to show what I can do, and I kind of just flew my best this heat, and I'm really proud of myself.
You should be proud. You're both through to the finals. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As expected, sudden death, ever so exciting. And look at that, the 2 winning times under 111. Pavelos 110.579, Hyper 110.825.
It was a 3-way battle in the beginning, Pavelos, Hyper, and Alex FPV, but it was the Algorand Split S where Alex FPV opened the door and hit a little contact in the side of the gate, allowing Pavelos and Hyper to pull ahead. Let's go back just a couple of gates at where the actual energy started for Alex FPV. If you take a look at the drop here, Alex FPV comes down through that diamond gate. He's already under the gun, so he's got pressure of 2 pilots in front. He tries to go for that last-minute pull to cut off the other 2 pilots, and it doesn't work in his favor.
Evan TK was highlighting it right. Alex picked the wrong time to be off his game.
Absolutely right. He was in the battle, but what was so unique about this race was that it was this rubber band effect from several of the pilots. Hyper would pull out in front, then Alex FPV would make a move and surge back, and then Pavelos ended up coming into the move seemingly out of nowhere. But what happened is, coming out to lap 2, Alex FPV had that pressure get bigger and bigger, and also he was running out of time to make that move. So what you'll see is, you see that green drone of Hyper and that orange and white drone of Pavelos out in front, and every turn that was made on lap 2 was just less and less time Alex FPV had to make up for it, and he knew that going into the Algorand Split S, that was his last big opportunity to make up time, and unfortunately, it just caught the best of him.
Your podium, or your pilots advancing, I should say, coming out of semifinal number 2. No question, MCK was moving on, but it was Pavelos and Hyper who waited to the end to earn their spots. Say goodbye to the semis. A worldly finals is on its way next.
Hitting the road? Not all 5G networks are created equal. T-Mobile covers more highway miles with 5G than Verizon. T-Mobile has more 5G bars in more places than anyone. Another reason T-Mobile is the leader in 5G.
number one thing that I hear when we first go onto an event site is, wow, I had no idea that this production was going to be so big. We start planning an event 6 to 9 months in advance of when it's going to happen. We scout multiple locations across the world. Eventually, we land on a space that's big enough to host a drone race, and after a lot of napkin sketches and debates and discussions, we eventually land on a course line, and then we put on a drone race.
I've been at events for over 10 years, and I always tell people a DRL event is the most complex event I've ever been a part of. When we get on site, we have about 2.5 days to load everything in, set everything up, test all the technology to be ready to stage the race.
For every event, we have 500 to 600 drones that are all completely built and tested by members of my team. We have to make sure that video and control is perfect because these pilots are flying at 90, sometimes 100 miles an hour. We have to make sure that they are having the best flight experience possible.
You have 3 guys that are out on the line. They have 2 drones in hand each, and they're ensuring those drones are to spec. You have a start line manager. You have the pit crew who's doing any repairs. If you're down for more than a minute, you're stopping the show.
DRL has been all over the world. We've been in NFL stadiums,
baseball stadiums where we've had live audiences of 4,000 or 5,000 people.
Pick any kind of terrain, we've been there. We've been to Singapore, we've been to Saudi Arabia, we've been to Germany, we've been to France, we've been to London, in warehouses, biospheres, stadiums, name your place, we put on an event there.
The Drone Racing League, brought to you by Algorand, the world's most powerful and sustainable blockchain. By T-Mobile, stay connected with more 5G bars in more places. And by Points Cash, freedom to pay your way. Welcome back to the DRL Algorand World Championship. We're on the DRL simulator for Level 4 Kingdom, and we are set for the finals. Evan, MCK, I have to believe, at least for me, is the biggest story. We just saw him sweep semifinal number 2. In Level 3, we saw him get 5 consecutive wins in the finals. There's no question he knows how to build momentum. Do you see him, though, sealing the deal here in Level 4?
He definitely has his best shot tonight. Alex FPV not in finals, and he is coming off a semifinal that he shut down 3 for 3. He's feeling himself right now. We can see it here, and if he keeps this up, I don't think anybody's going to be able to outrun MCK.
Well, now here in the finals, there are 6 regular heats. You win any one of them, and you're in the golden heat. But once we get to the golden heat, it is winner take all. Whoever finishes first will be the level champion. Let's meet our 6 pilots who will fight for the level 4 win, and the colors they will fly. MCK FPV purple, Maverick flies red, Killian blue, Halo Walker pink, Hyper green, and Pavelos orange and white. Finals, Heat 1. Time to feast on the main course. Our best 6 are in the air. They head for the city gate, an early lead for Maverick in red, followed by Hyper in green, but Hyper drops back. MCK in purple now in second, but he moves to the front.
Maverick and MCK have not flown against one another tonight. This is going to be our first chance to see who's got the edge and who comes out of the gates swinging first.
Interesting split S, but as we have seen so many times, MCK finds a way to get to the front. They're through the points cash gate for the first time, and it's MCK in purple in the lead, taking them all on to lap number 2. You've got Halo Walker now in pink, who's moved into second, but Maverick fighting for that spot as well.
Halo Walker wants to get in the golden heat tonight. I know that for sure. He doesn't have to win, but if he can get up into second and get 2 of those, then he can also guarantee him spot in a golden heat.
MCK already with a comfortable lead, and he just went through his best element, the Algorand split S over the wickets, and now up to the points cash gate yet again. It's one final left-hand turn, no problem for the purple drone. MCK wins it. He's headed to the Golden Heat.
I had damage. I had damage. Dude, if I didn't get damage there. Dude, if I didn't get damage there.
Like, if I hadn't made a mistake, I would have been in it. That sucks.
GG.
MCK, we saw you smiling.
Yeah, everything. Like, I'm super happy to go to Golden Hit, and then, you know, I think that was really great race with Halo Walker.
We apologize, we lost Layla over in England, but let's show you the results from heat number 1. MCK, as already noted, wins 110.908, 0.3 of a second ahead of Halo. Let's take a look at Pavelos' FPV rerun. Evan, he ended up in 3rd overall.
Absolutely right, he did. And look at that. After the first turn, I'm pretty sure I see all 5 other drones in front of him. As a competitive pilot, that is something you never want to see. For the spectator, maybe it's nice, but this meant that Pavelos had a lot of work to do, and he actually managed to get himself up to that podium position that he needed. He wasn't able to get a second, but as far as a confidence perspective, he knew that he was able to make a bobble and still have the speed he needed to pull himself on. Now here's where he starts doing just that. Now he's worked himself into 4th place behind MCK, Halo Walker, and Maverick, and what he ended up doing is finding a weakness in some of Maverick's turns and was able to capitalize on that. He's running out of time to do it, so I'm excited to see where it is. But what I predict is this Algorand Split S. All night long, we're going to see that's where pilots lose or win each heat. And what I noticed in the end is that Pavelos actually clips this gate, getting damage, and he almost dropped down to 4th, but he held on.
Well, remember, in the finals, it is not just winning that matters, but 2nd place has meaning as well. If you get 2 seconds, you move into the Golden Heat. So with MCK's win, he knows he's in the Golden Heat, but Halo now just needs 1 more second or better, and he will be there as well. Download the Drone Racing Arcade, a fun, free, and easy-to-play drone racing mobile game on iOS and Android. MCK is on a roll, including semifinals. He has now won 4 in a row. The other pilots gotta get something going.
For more than 2 decades, Dragonfly has been engineering innovative UAV and AI solutions across industries in the public and private sectors. This year, we have released a new heavy-lift UAV capable of carrying more than 30 kilograms and the versatile Commander 3XL UAV that can accommodate a whole host of payloads, including our new LiDAR system. From landmine detection and EMS delivery drones deployed in Ukraine to our biometric insight AI, our reputation has been built on our commitment to engineer technology that saves time, money, and lives.
Vital Intelligence is a contactless vital sign monitoring platform developed using machine vision and AI. What we've developed is the ability to remotely monitor blood pressure, heart rate, oxygen saturation, respiratory rate, and a slew of other vital bioindicators. Looking at the vasculature of your cheeks is able to see with every heartbeat the blood flowing through your face. The Vital Intelligence platform does these calculations in real time. So within 10 to 15 seconds of being observed by almost any camera, we're able to then provide any user with those valuable biometrics.
I definitely think we're going to see my heart rate increase on the Dragonfly kiosk.
Drone racing can be an exhausting endeavor. The races take hours, they're highly intense, and as our drone racers prepare to endure those conditions, we can help them deliver stronger performances on race day. With this new technology, we're revolutionizing the experience for pilots, fans, and the sporting industry now and into the future.
What I love about drone racing is the competition. I love that pressure in those golden heats because if I lose, I lost to the very best in the world. And that's something that you can't get outside of DRL. When we're out on the flight deck and we're in an important race, my heart rate is just going so fast. I'm so excited, and it's almost as if the moment the race starts, my heart rate calms down.
Van over that flashing drone, get used to seeing it at or near the front.
I need that pressure, I need that animosity, I need the other guys looking at me with that intent to beat me. I love all that because it makes me just want to fly the very best that I can. All that matters is how I fly, and if I focus on myself and I fly my best, then I'll win. You're only as good as your last race. That's my mentality going into this year. Keep that energy alive. Don't focus on races that have just happened. Focus on the next one. The goal is always the same, and that's to be the world champion.
Performing when it counted, ladies and gentlemen, that is Vanover.
This is DRL, the Drone Racing League. Welcome back to the finals of Level 4 Kingdom. MCK FPV won Heat number 1 and has secured his spot in the winner-take-all Golden Heat. Evan, we knew after our overall season point leader Halo Walker didn't make the Golden Heat in level number 3 that the pressure was going to be on him. How do you feel he's flying so far here in level 4?
Today, he has really figured something out. In level 3, he was frustrated, he was flustered, and it took control of how he was flying. Today, he's come with a new level of confidence, a better attitude, and quite honestly, it is showing in his flying so obviously.
Finals, Heat 2. Create your own golden opportunity. Maverick in red, an early lead. They head for that city gate, which surprisingly has also caused some difficulty at times. It's up to the Google Cloud gate. Maverick in red still leads. Halo Walker in pink is slotted behind him, but MCK in purple right there as well.
Maverick has a very different flying style than all the other pilots in these heats. He's flying straight at the top of these buildings, and that may be a tighter line. However, it just seems like it is not what he needs to be doing to carry the most amount of speed out the back of those gates.
Maverick in red, Halo Walker in pink. They keep switching in and out of that first position. MCK in purple right there if either of them falter. But as Evan has talked about multiple times, MCK loves this second lap. They're going to go through the Google Cloud gate one final time in this heat. Maverick in red still leading.
Yes, here comes that Algorand split as this is the most exciting part of the whole course, and it really defines the end of this race.
Maverick in red, MCK in purple. Maverick in red, Halo Walker in pink. They're your top two. Here we go. The dive for the finish. And Maverick gets the win. MCK in second.
Yeah. Mav, you're nuts. You're insane.
Yes!
GG. Holy.
Woo! Let's go!
I threw it. I had it.
Mav.
Yes!
I had it.
Yes!
Maverick, up until the finals, we were looking forward to seeing you up against MCK. How does it feel to catch a man like MCK, who's known as the fastest drone pilot in the world?
I don't know. He had a lot of momentum coming out of semifinals, but I also did too. And I went out there and just flew how I knew how to flew, and fortunately that heat went my way. So it's going to be an exciting golden heat, and hopefully we keep everybody else out of it.
This season has been your debut on the Drone Racing League. How has it been for you so far, and how important is it for you to make your name here?
Yeah, obviously it's very important. I mean, everybody's so talented, all these pilots from across the world, but to come out here and perform like I know I have the potential to, just is so awesome. Because I had a rough start to the season, but it's a clean slate today, and we're in golden heat, so let's do this.
Making a comeback. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maverick has done it. We've already noted he's in his first finals. Now he heads to his first golden heat because he won heat number 2, 111.216.
2 turns was all it took for Maverick to pull to the lead. Coming out of the wickets up to the points cash gate, you've only got a wide sweeping turn, and then it's a run to the finish. You can see Halo in the pink drone goes down like a rock. That leaves Maverick and MCK to make up the difference. Let's go back, though, a bit to the wickets. And this is where it all started here for Maverick. He's got an advantage as he comes out of the wickets with the lead. MCK can't put himself into position on the launch up to this gate. He's got to get in the turn. Halo drops, and MCK is left with whatever he gets on the way down. Maverick sealed the deal all the way in to the finish.
Evan, it's been a while, right, that since MCK saw somebody stay in front of him.
Yes, he's had pilots peek their nose out in front of him here or there, but we have yet to see someone get out in front and stay in front. And that's what we saw the red drone of Maverick do here. I actually noticed that MCK seemed to almost get frustrated. He saw that other drone in front of him, and he started trying harder and harder on every single turn. And Maverick just kept answering with a better one. Going into lap 2 here, MCK, I imagine, was probably pretty confident that he had what it took to take down Maverick. But I think, at least I would be taken aback, be surprised, be like, uh-oh. There's somebody who's definitely given MCK a run for his money. That's Maverick. And if there's someone you don't want to let get hot, get excited, and get confident, it's Maverick FPV.
We continue to see that viewpoint, but MCK, not this time. Just confirming what we already know. MCK is in, Maverick is now in the Golden Heat, and keep your eyes on Halo Walker because it will only take another second for him to get in there as well. Evan, you just used a great word that I think every athlete can use to their advantage: confidence. And when it comes to Maverick, is this now a treasure's chest or Pandora's box of confidence that he can utilize?
Yes, the interesting thing about Maverick is all season long he's preached the confidence that he has for himself, but he hasn't been able to necessarily back it up. Now, you can have all the confidence in the world built up in your head, but being able to actually prove to yourself and everyone else watching that you can do it and you can do what you say you do, that will unlock a new level of confidence and a new level of poise for Maverick.
Finals, Heat 3. Tackle this territory from the onset. Maverick back in the lead. He's the red drone. Killian Blue slotted into second at the moment. They're through the T-Mobile gate, and Maverick just soaring for the Google Cloud gate, still out in front.
Maverick, like I said, has figured something out here. He's been talking about this confidence that he has, and now he's going to back it up. Now it's showtime. Now he can show everybody what he's got, and maybe the other pilots are catching up, but I believe that he can come back from this.
They're on to lap number 2. Maverick fell back, but now he's regained the lead. MCK, however, he's going to battle every single second of these runs. The purple drone of MCK is out in front. Killian in blue briefly in second. Maverick in red back in the lead. They now head down to that Dragonfly Diamond. That'll set up the critical Algorand S. Killian was out in front. He's back in front, the blue drone, and now Pavelos. This is anybody's game. One final turn. Who uses it best? They're driving for the finish. Wow! 4 drones simultaneously, and Halo Walker wins.
Are you kidding me?
Man.
Come on.
Are you serious?
Yeah!
Oh my god!
Yeah!
Oh my
Listen,
god!
look at the time.
Oh my god!
Are you kidding me?
Man,
The times are crazy.
Wild. Oh my god! Dude, that's stupid.
That's not a Sui right there.
Dude, I was ready to
see next one.
Halo Walker, an unbelievably intense race. Even at the end there, we were just all buzzing in our seats. How do you maintain any kind of calmness, and your hands and everything, the detail has to be so calm. How do you maintain that?
I can tell you it's really tough. I heard Min-Chan crash on that second lap split S. I heard a big sigh from him, so I knew I was in it. I was pushing to make sure I definitely get a first or a second. Ended up getting a first there. We had some really, really close times on that run. Definitely a privilege to be in the golden heat.
And when we talk about it literally, do you get sweaty hands? Do you shake? Do you tremor? How do you manage this? Because the movements have to be so small.
Oh, I definitely do. I have this little towel here to dry my hands off because they do get sweaty, and I'm very scared of slipping off my sticks.
There's the trick, a towel. Thank you.
Thanks.
We all saw it, and Halo Walker knew it as well. He won Heat 3 by 6 1/1000ths of a second over Pavelos.
Of the wickets. Halo Walker does his damage and puts himself into prime position. Halo Walker in the pink drone has pulled out of the turn and set himself up to come out to the top of the points cache gate with the most speed he possibly can. You can see he swings wide to the right. That's Halo in the pink. That gives him a ton of speed around the turn, and then it's just a matter of luck with these three neck and neck. But let's go back to the wickets. Look at Halo in pink. You can see him and Pavelos in orange and white are neck and neck as they approach the points cache gate. But Halo Walker being on the wide approach, that gives him the better position. He's got the advantage on the turn. So he's got a far more speed coming into that drop.
Evan, Killian finished 5 100ths behind Halo Walker, and he got fourth.
Yes, that was, out of all my years of drone racing, probably one of the craziest heats I've ever seen. First place to fourth place, as you said, was within 1/10 of a second, which means Killian, I mean, you would think at fourth place you would be upset, but absolutely not. Killian was within an arm's length from first, and he just lost that luck of the draw there. What we saw was a four-way battle between MCK, Maverick, and Halo Walker, and it bounced back and forth the entire time. You saw all these pilots pushing, and also you saw their different strengths shine throughout each turn. Halo Walker would pull away in some areas, but then get caught by Killian in other larger sweeping turns. It all came down to that points cache gate. The nerves were high, the hearts were racing, but Halo Walker got the best of it.
This leaderboard starting to show a lot of different colors. Halo Walker, MCK, and Maverick are in. Pavelos now has that second that we need to pay attention to. As these pilots fight to prove who's the best, are you not entertained? The finals will continue.
DRL fans, how are you feeling? It's time to get excited for a night of drone racing.
I think we're ready for some racing. What do you guys think?
DRL is interesting because it's an invitation-only league with an exception. get onto the league through the sim tryouts. I was like 13th my first year, 6th the second year, and I had slowly been creeping up. Something just clicked with me for the 2020 tryouts, and I knew before like they had even announced tryouts that this was going to be my year.
We started with thousands, and after 12 tournaments, we're down to our final 12 players.
I went into it saying to myself over and over again that I was going to win. It's what was going to happen, and the big final tryouts race was going to be a formality.
The final runs to the finish and the final turn. Amari in the lead.
I just sent it, and I didn't look back, and won every single heat every time.
There's no way anybody can catch him. Amari has clinched his spot.
No! It was crazy. My family was downstairs watching the stream.
Dad, that's my brother!
They all came running upstairs. We were all celebrating. And it was crazy. I was crying. I was so happy. I had achieved my dream. I was on the DRL. I had secured my spot. Something that I had worked 3.5, 4 years for, and just fallen short of so many times just by a little bit. I had finally achieved my dream.
League. Welcome back to Level 4 Kingdom. We're halfway through the finals, and half our pilots have already qualified for the Golden Heat. Halo Walker, MCK, FPV, and Maverick. Evan, you know this all too well, right? How quickly it can all change. It looked like MCK was unstoppable. Now it looks like MCK's got to find his groove again.
Yes, the way I see confidence is like building blocks. Every time you're able to find some success and build up more confidence, your tower gets bigger and bigger until you just feel unstoppable. Now, if you have a bad heat, one block gets knocked off the top. If you have another one crash, go down, and get 5th place like MCK, the tower gets completely knocked down, and it's time to rebuild. I'm really intrigued to see how MCK is able to rebuild that tower, especially going into the Golden Heat.
How positively medieval of you. I love it. Finals, Heat 4. Will a new face lord over the land? Maverick in red, no surprise there. He's the early leader. MCK in purple, though, tried to get to the front, but Maverick has taken that lead back as they go up to the Google Cloud Gate.
This is where MCK and Maverick's lines are so incredibly different. You see here, MCK may have got the better end of it, but Maverick is just flying so incredibly tight right now, it doesn't even matter that he's not coming out with the most speed.
Pavelos out in front briefly, but Maverick gains that lead back as they'll head down to the U.S. Air Force Pentagate to start lap number 2. Maverick in red, MCK in purple, Halo in pink. They're your top 3.
I'm telling you, once Maverick was able to prove to himself that he could do this, his flying changed completely. He is going into every single turn with a newfound confidence, and he is quite literally running away with this one.
The split S one final time, no problem for Maverick. He maintains his lead. MCK in purple in second. The final time through the points cash gate, but it's Maverick who has the better line, it looks like, and Maverick will win again.
Oh no, Maverick got it!
Terrible.
Yeah!
Mav, hello?
Yeah!
Oh my goodness. Holy MCK to be interviewed.
Between you and Maverick, the lines are actually very different. Do you ever get tempted to change your line, change the strategy and watch each other? Or is it a case of sticking and staying confident with what you're doing?
I think I'm trying to do the same thing what I did before, but I know Maverick is doing some different lines, but I think that's not a good idea to change the line during the race.
Would it be a bad idea to change anything when it's so right?
Yeah, for me, yeah, definitely it is. So I think I would just try to go the same thing as before.
You're going to be going through to the Golden Heat. Do you have any different emotions going into that, or are you going into it confident now?
Oh, I'm a little bit confident, but like I guess I have to push way more harder because Maverick and Halo Walker is actually catching me really a lot. So I'm a bit nervous of it.
You're obviously a pilot who's very well experienced in competition, but Drone Racing League is just that bit different, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. Also, especially in the Sim, I think close racing I've ever seen.
Well, it's great talking to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
MCK is not wrong when it comes to close racing. This heat decided by 6/100ths of a second as Maverick takes the win, MCK in second. The man in third, Pavelos. Evan, let's take a look at what that race looked like from his point of view.
Pavelos is looking for a second place. If he can get another second place one way or another, or first, then he will also get in that Golden Heat. He made it into the Golden Heat of level 3 and got third place. And those podium positions, those podium points are big, especially when you're fighting for those overall standings for the end of the year. Getting into the Golden Heat is the first step to getting big points. He had a great view from 4th place, but was actually able to pass Halo Walker, moving up into 3rd on this lap 2. What's been impressive from Pavelos from level 3 and today is his incredible consistency that is quite impressive to me. He just seems to be able to find that level of pressure where he's not making these dumb errors when he knows he needs to push. He's just going to the limit, not going a single bit above it, and coming into these latter heats, he may have to find that limit to try and get into the Golden Heat, but right now he's doing exactly what he needs to do.
Maverick's the first pilot with 2 wins in these level 4 finals. MCK and Halo Walker still the only other 2 who are in the Golden Heats. Well, as Evan was noting, Maverick has hit the afterburners and is lighting these finals on fire. Can he keep it up?
The Algorand ecosystem is where monumental change takes shape. So come transform the world with us on Algorand.
The flight deck has a really unique atmosphere. It's buzzy, it's noisy, but at the same time there's an intensity that's quite quiet.
The atmosphere in the flight deck is incredibly tense. The guys come out and they're trying to get out of their own heads and shake off those nerves.
There's a lot of competition there.
Come on!
The pilots really, really want to win, so there's a lot of yelling.
Let's go, baby!
There's a lot of debating each other about who is faster.
There's so much more going on in the flight deck than you can see at home, because you're seeing the angle of the pilots, but then on the other side, there's an entire production happening. There's generally between 8 or 10 different staff buzzing around, checking the controls, checking the graphics, checking the lights. So it's not a quiet, calm place. The pilots really have to hone in on their focus. Some of them are very, very calm, relaxed. Some of them are very stressed and intense, and they take that moment to really breathe and calm down. what I love about Vanover is his self-talk.
Focus on yourself. You can focus on it.
He inspires himself and talks out loud to himself,
First time flying the course in a while.
reminding himself of who he is,
Lots of wins.
why he's there, and how brilliant he is ahead of the race. Alex FPV doesn't like to sit down, so he stands up every single time, and he stands with excitement, intensity, and that's his way of flying.
There's so many people on the flight deck, but they all have a singular focus, getting to racing.
It's a special place to be.
This is DRL, the Drone Racing League. Welcome back to the finals of Level 4 Kingdom. With just 2 more regular heats of racing remaining, we still have 3 pilots who have secured their spots in the Golden Heat: Maverick, MCK, FPV, and Halo. But Evan, let's talk about the guy who has an important second. That's Pavelos. Is there an element that you think he can improve on to get a win, or what scenario do you think gets him to the Golden Heat?
Well, he's flying exactly the way he should. He's being consistent. He's flying just under his peak ability, which is giving him that consistency that he needs. Now, the situation that he needs is one of these top 3 pilots needs to make an error. That's Halo Walker, MCK, Maverick. That puts him in that 3rd place range, and then he needs to find another gear when it counts and beat out a Maverick or an MCK to sneak himself into another 2nd or 1st to get into that Golden Heat.
Finals, Heat 5. Another clash commences, and unsurprisingly, Maverick and Red right there in the front. They're through the city gate. Maverick and Red, Hyper and Green, Halo Walker and Pink. They're your top 3.
Maverick is going to keep doing what he's doing, but we're watching MCK. In the last interview, he was doubting his line, saying that he didn't know if he needed to change something, or is Maverick doing some line that's different? I'm really intrigued to see if MCK can find that confidence in his own ability here.
Hyper and Green moved to the front, but Maverick and Red has taken it right back. MCK was trailing them all, it seemed, but he's moved up into 3rd. That's the purple drone, already well onto lap number 2. But Maverick and Red continues to impress on the way to the Google Cloud Gate.
Halo Walker and MCK both made that mistake. Pavelos, this is his opportunity. He needs to figure out a way to get ahead of Hyper and get another 2nd, which would guarantee him a spot in the do or die Golden Heat.
Coming out of the wickets, you'll see a lot of different lines. There they go, up to the points cash gate, the final left-hand turn. Maverick in the lead. Pavelos has moved into 2nd. Maverick gets the win, and Pavelos gets the 2nd that he needed.
No, dude, come on. Another.
Let's go.
What is going on? Unbelievable.
Woo! Pavelos qualifying there for the Golden Heat. This must be filling you with excitement. Walk me through your emotions in that final straight.
I didn't see anybody the whole heat, so I was pretty confident that it was a good one for me. And you know, I'm starting from the last podium, so it's a little bit tough, but I'm 2 for 2 for Golden Heat, so I'm really excited.
And how does your confidence go in there, especially seeing the type of pilots that you're flying around with?
I really try not to think about it. I mean, the racing is really tight. As you can see, it's literally milliseconds between us, and you know, you just have to run your own pace and hope for the best, I guess.
We're excited to watch it. Thank you.
Pavelos, you can sense the happiness coming through your streaming device. Maverick, just another win. He will take it, as will Pavelos. Maverick's winning time in this one, 111.448.
Pavelos gets an opportunity, and he takes it. Take a look at Pavelos in the orange and white drone. Here he is on the approach to the points cache gate, and there it is for him. He makes the move on Hyper in the green drone, and that's what seals the deal. But let's head back to his FPV view as he heads through the wickets. You can take a look here at his shot. He's got Hyper jumping into his shot for just a quick second, but take a look at the approach to the points cache gate. The low approach and swinging it in on the early swing is what puts him into position just in front of Hyper. That's all he needed to get the win, or second in his case.
Well, Evan, MCK, eventually it would be another fifth, and things might be slipping away.
MCK was so confident coming out of the semifinal. He thought that everything he was doing was perfect, and to be quite honest, I think it was. After losing a couple heats, we've heard him lose that confidence in his own ability, thinking, are the lines that I'm taking right? Is somebody doing something that I'm not? He's scared and he's unsure of what he should do next. We're watching his flying here, and we'll see some things that we didn't see before. We saw a slight flick there that he wasn't supposed to do. He's swinging wider around the city gate than he had previously, and there, a forced error after some unforeseen mistakes. This just isn't the MCK we're used to seeing, and I just don't know if he's going to be able to recover from this and get back to his semifinal form. He was able to stay up in the air, but he watched those 4 drones ahead of them run away with it.
You know all too well, partner, in drone racing, doubt can be deadly. Look at this, though. On the opposite end of the spectrum, Maverick brimming with confidence, 3 wins in the finals, back-to-back wins in Heat 4 and Heat 5, and Pavelos' second means we now have 4 pilots moving on. Want to support your favorite pilot from home? Just head over to shopdrl.io to grab jerseys and the latest gear from DRL. The Golden Heat is getting crowded, and if you are a fan, the more the merrier. Don't go anywhere.
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, and my mask up. You don't know who I am. Whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American airman kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
So I'm really excited to be out here today. We have a bunch of really awesome airmen who are going to show us around. We're going to get some hands-on time with a lot of the stuff that they get to use through their airman training, and I'm super excited for it.
It'll be interesting to see their perspective change a little bit with all of the different things we have planned on for today.
All right, welcome guys. This is the U.S. Air Force Centrifuge. Every pilot that's going to go off and fly fighters, they're going to come visit us. The device is capable up to 20 Gs. It would never spin to that with people inside of it. However, on the research side, we could spin 20 Gs with some equipment.
Running.
Oh my gosh.
Keep that trigger engaged, coming down, stay tight, and...
Oh my gosh. No way.
Oh my goodness.
Strong Lab is the Air Force's exercise science laboratory.
Pulling G's requires holding on to a lot of isometric strength, right, in your core. Today, we'll be measuring your power, body composition, how fast you recover, how well you move.
Go, 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 go.
Jelly.
Today, we're going to do a couple different neuromodulation techniques that are going to help improve your flying performance.
Seeing the process and the preparedness that the airmen went through to go out and fly missions and figuring out like how can we integrate that into things that we're trying to do as professional drone racers, it's really exciting.
Collectively, we are going forward and being able to be the best pilots that we can be.
This is DRL, the Drone Racing League. Welcome back to Level 4 Kingdom. Only one more chance for the two pilots who aren't in the Golden Heat to join the four that are there. And Evan, I don't know about you, but I'm sensing a huge pattern here. In Level 3, MCK had those 5 consecutive wins, but then faltered in the Golden Heat. Maverick now seems to have all the momentum. So are you worried he might falter when it's for all the marbles?
Well, they do say that history repeats itself, but the one difference between Maverick and MCK is that Maverick is this dark horse that no one really knew what to expect. He doesn't have that pressure of everyone thinking he's some hot shot that is going to win every single heat. He is coming to fly for himself and prove to everyone that he deserves to be here. Now, can he peak at the wrong time, and will MCK be able to find that confidence at the last second? I'm not sure, but that is a one big difference that I've seen, is that Maverick does not have that pressure of everyone thinking that he has to win, otherwise he's not good enough.
Finals, Heat 6. The best always find a way, and it seems Maverick always finds a way to the front to start these runs. He's your leader, the red drone, as they go through the city gate, set up through the T-Mobile gate. Now they go up to that Google Cloud gate. Maverick in red, MCK in purple, 1-2.
It's important to remember that being Heat 6, this is everyone's last opportunity to get in the Golden Heat if they're not there already. If you are in the Golden Heat, this is your time to build that confidence and have a practice run of sorts to try and gain as much confidence and consistency as you can going into this high-pressure situation.
Maverick in red leads them on to lap number 2. MCK for a moment in purple was in second, but now Killian in blue has slotted into that one. Through the T-Mobile gate, Maverick continues to set the pace. They'll set up for that Google Cloud gate. It's Maverick in red, Killian in blue, first and second.
Killian does not have a second place slotted yet. That means if he wants to get in the Golden Heat, he has to win. It looks like he's pushing and doing just that, but he needs to figure it out fast.
One final left-hand turn. Pavelos out in the lead, but Maverick takes that lead back. They surge into the finish. Who's it going to be? It is MCK this time.
Oh, nice, Mitchan.
Good job, everybody.
GG.
Nice,
GG. Guys, you guys. Holy.
Man, I got so much
What a
lucky.
run. That's insane.
MCK, I'm fairly confident in saying in the history of drone racing, we've never seen races this tight by such narrow margins. How do you make sure you're in the positive side of that narrow margin in the Golden Heat?
Oh, I've never seen this close racing too in my life. And, you know, like Maverick, Piles, Halo Walker, they are all, like, amazing pilots. So, I think I'm just trying to be consistent and then try to not crash the Golden Heat.
I'd argue that out of all sports, this is probably one of the ones that has such tight, minuscule moments of difference. When you're practicing, because I know you're one of the people who practices the most, do you look at those milliseconds?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because in the leaderboards, We fighting for like 0.01 seconds, so but yeah, so that's why it's so hard to racing in the sim.
It's thrilling to watch. Thank you.
Thank you.
Here are those results. MCK, look at that. 5 of the 6 pilots all within 0.4 of a second. It's MCK who is the best.
The battle comes close between MCK and the rest, but it all comes down to the final turns. Here at the points cash gate, MCK just does it a little better. He pulls a wide approach to the top gate, and that allows him to get the speed that he needs to break around the turn. Here he is again. Look at MCK, purple drone on the right, Pavelos, orange and white, far left. He has to slam the brakes on as he approaches. MCK continues full throttle through the sweeping turn and winds out in front of Pavelos and the rest of the pack to get the win.
It's just been one back and forth battle after another in this heat. We get to see Pavelos' point of view.
Yes, this was Pavelos' last heat before he goes into the golden heat with these other pilots who are on fire. As I said, he doesn't have to necessarily win this heat. It is a practice for him, and it was just so incredibly close all the way down to the wire. When you're thinking about 1/10 of a second at these speeds, it is so little distance. It's coming down to inches on every single turn, or even milliseconds when you're deciding to flick the stick or not. I have never seen racing as close as we've seen tonight, and no one knows who's going to take the win in the golden heat. All of these pilots are locked in, they're all flying at their best, and there is not just one pilot who's sticking out saying that they've got this. It is anyone's game going into the golden heat, and Pavelos ended just a few thousandths of a second behind the others here.
Well, the top 2 performers, at least statistically, Maverick with 3 wins, MCK with 2 wins. Most of the eyes of the world may be on them as we head to a 4-pilot golden heat. 4 pilots are about to clash for the only thing that matters, the win. Stay tuned. Golden heat coming up.
Going into this season, I feel like there's a lot of unfinished business from last season. At the end of the day, my goal is to be the world champion, and I'm not going to always be fully satisfied unless I'm on the top spot.
I'm playing simulator till like 1 a.m. and I'm going to field at like 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. I'm practicing 3 times more than other people.
I'm planning to pick up where I left off at last year's Vegas Championship race. Last year was just about survival. This year I'm here to win.
I'm very good at being there no matter what the pressure is, no matter how many upsets there are. You can always count on a good race for me. 7 years of 707, you know?
I'm pretty confident. I know I can do it. I'm training for this. I'm practicing for this, like every day.
I'm fully expecting that I'm going to be competing for the top this season, especially with hybrid and everything. It's a really unique skill set required to do well. I think I'm uniquely positioned to excel at everything that we're going to be doing this year.
Being honest, I just want to win. I don't care if I have to train every single day at 6 a.m. I will do anything just to win.
I feel confident in my abilities to beat a lot of the pilots. I've been putting in a lot of work and a lot of practice, so I just feel confident.
These guys literally got their names by racing me. This isn't the first time I've raced them. I'm not really scared to race anybody.
The opportunity to be here is like such a privilege. So many pilots would wish to be here. I really want to show that I'm worthy.
I'm 100% committed that I will win every race out there. So if you like to root for a winner, then you probably should root for me.
To be an elite drone racer is a mindset. It's I need to be there. It's not I want to be there. It's not I hope to be there. It's I need to be there. I do deserve to be in DRL. The amount of time I put in should speak for itself.
DRL fans, how are you feeling? It's time to get excited for a night of drone racing.
I think we're ready for some racing. What do you guys think?
The Drone Racing League, brought to you by Google Cloud. By Dragonfly, North America made and manufactured drone and AI solutions. And by the U.S. Air Force. Aim high. Welcome back to the finals of Level 4 Kingdom. Our DRL fans know it is always all about the Golden Heat. We've got 4 pilots here: Maverick, MCK FPV, Halo Walker, and Pavelos. Evan said before the break that nobody knows who's going to win this thing because how close the racing has been. But guess what, my friend? You are the expert, so I am going to put you on the spot. Who wins this?
I have to go with Maverick on this one. MCK has shown a lot of strength, but he's also shown some weakness. He does have the advantage coming off of the win in Heat 6, but Maverick has more Heat wins than anybody here in finals. This is his first final in DRL history, and I think it'd be a pretty cool story to say he won his first ever DRL final.
Finals. Golden Heats. Now is the time to rule the realm. Maverick in red, first through the U.S. Air Force gate. Now he goes first through the city gate. They'll go through T-Mobile and up to the Google Cloud gate. Maverick in red, followed by MCK in purple.
It's going to start getting close here. We're going to the middle portion of the track where all the pilots will have to decide if they're going to push it and take the risk or be safe and risk getting past.
Out of the wickets. It's up to the points cash gate. It's a left turn that sets up lap number 2. Maverick has led start to finish so far. He leads them over to the city gate yet again. Pavelos, orange and white, is now slotted into second, fighting with MCK for that spot.
All the pilots are running out of time to make a move. If we're going to see crashes, it's going to be soon, because if you're behind, you have to take something tighter than ever before and make up much needed ground. Maverick seems unstoppable right now. The nerves are on his side, and this could be his race to win.
The weather is perfect out in front for Maverick. There's the final turn. Is this level his? Maverick rules the kingdom.
Mav for sure. Oh, he did it. He did it. Oh my God.
Let's go, man. Good job, baby. Good job.
God.
Yes!
He's nuts. Holy.
Great job, Maverick.
Holy
Great job,
Maverick.
Good win.
Oh!
With his
God.
first.
Our level 4 champion Maverick joins me, and that title sounds good, doesn't it?
It sounds fabulous, Layla. I'm not going to lie to you. Wow.
Very well deserved win. Talk to me about desire.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. And Minchan just had so much momentum coming out of semifinals and then also in finals. But I don't know. I just felt really good going into Golden Heat, and I went out there and had the heat of my life. So fortunately, it played in my favor tonight, and I'm just so happy right now.
It looked like this course was almost designed for you. Did you find your flow state out there? Was it coming naturally to you at that point?
100%. I mean, after like Heat 2 of finals, I mean, it was all just muscle memory from there. Honestly, finals was just a blur, and I got a couple Heat wins under my belt and built some confidence, and it played in my favor tonight, so I could not be happier.
Stay that happy. Hold on to that confidence. You're the champion. Congrats.
Thank you, Layla.
Four fought for it, but no one was better than Maverick. The winning time in the Golden Heat, 110.530, a full 2.5 tenths of a second ahead of MCK.
Maverick putting on a clinic for all aspiring pilots out there, not just in the Golden Heat, but all finals long, especially though in this last heat when it counted the most. Take a look at Maverick as he comes around the city gate. He puts himself in the perfect position. From here, he's got a nice little cushion, recognizing he's got a sweeping turn coming up ahead, recognizing his anchor points, when to kick the drone over. It's here. He does it at the right time, slices the gate beautifully. On the drop, he's going to have a sweeping turn into the Diamond Gate. Take a look at Maverick versus the pack. He kicks the turn in, has the most speed, and is just set up for a beautiful split S from there. Let's go back and take a look at where it started for Maverick at the City Gate. And you can see through the FPV, watch Maverick up ahead in the red drone. He pulls into the turn just beautifully. And this is what sets him up to have a perfect run from there, gate to gate, the entire rest of the way.
No question here in level 4, Maverick makes an emphatic case that he's a contender for the world title. Your podium of the kingdom, Maverick, MCK, and Pavelos. Well, Evan, the U.S. Air Force fastest heat goes to Maverick from his Heat 4 run in finals, a fast 110.194.
The fastest heat of any drone race is simply the result of perfect turn after perfect turn. Maverick found a new level of speed in finals and bringing home the fastest heat alongside the win.
Let's take a look at our updated season standings after level 4. Maverick is moved into 6th overall at 24, but Halo Walker keeps his lead. He now leads MCK by 10 points. Alex, Vanover, and Pavelos round out your top 5. That does it for level 4 Kingdom. Congrats again to Maverick. Follow DRL on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and subscribe on YouTube. For Evan Turner, Tony Niddle, Layla Anna Lee, and our entire crew, I'm Craig Hummer. Thanks for watching. This is a copyrighted broadcast of Drone Racing League Incorporated and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of Drone Racing League Incorporated.